Hello and welcome to 6 Minutes. I'm Gemma Collins. This week we hear about the latest developments in family planning as we speak to sexual health physician Dr. Terri Foran. Dr. Foran is a lecturer at the School of Women and Children's Health at the University of New South Wales. What are the latest things in family planning that GPs need to be aware of, do you think?
I think GPs do a great job, and one of the problems with the last, 20 years is that there's been an increasing range of family planning options available to Australian women. So to discuss every single one of those methods in detail takes quite a long time. So I think sometimes if women are looking to discuss their contraceptive options, then making an appointment that's long enough to do so is important. I think going through the pros and cons briefly of each of those methods of contraception, I call it the contraceptive cafeteria, where you sort of lay it all out on the table and then pick up clues from the woman as to what she might think are the best options for her and why. Obviously it's guided by medical considerations, but the reality is that women don't want to use a method of contraception that doesn't suit them, don't use it properly if it doesn't suit them, and don't continue it if it doesn't suit them. So I think making sure that each contraceptive consultation you have with a woman is a just double check that she's happy, that the information she has is correct, and that she perhaps is looking at the long-term as well as the short-term options is a really great place to be.
And are there any new risks to do with some contraceptions that GPs need to be aware of?
Last year, for example, there was some controversy around the drospirenone-containing pills like Yaz and Yasmin, and the possibility that they may be a bit more risky in terms of DVT than some of the older pills. I think the important thing to get from that debate is that the risk, if it is increased, and I personally believe that perhaps it is very slightly increased, represents only a very tiny number of actual women who may experience DVT. It takes the background risk from women taking perhaps older pills, have a background risk of about 3 to 5 per 10,000, up to around about 7 per 10,000. But would it stop me prescribing it if it was the right pill for that woman and she understood those risks and was making an informed decision? Absolutely not. I know this sounds cliche, but I always get excited when there's a new pill on the market. And I think there's justification in this particular situation. Because although it sounds like it's very similar to other pills, it has an estrogen in it that's much more akin to the estrogen our own bodies make, and therefore I think presents a real option perhaps for women who've tried the pill before, had particularly estrogenic side effects on the pill, and we now have an option they can try perhaps if oral contraception is what they really want to use. This pill, Zoli, is going to be all the same throughout the packet, which means that if women do perhaps want to run pill packets together and to time their cycle, their periods when it's convenient for them, it'll be possible on this pill where it hasn't been on the last one. And I guess the other thing that's probably in GPs' minds over the last 12 months is the fact that we now have a new kind of implant-on inserter, which I personally, again, believe makes it a much easier process, and perhaps GPs who were not really comfortable with the insertion process from the older implant-on may think again around the new one. This insertion system is certainly a lot easier to use, but it still requires the doctor to have confidence and training in actually putting the implant inside.
Well, we expect to be bringing you a lot more stories about sexual health as the year develops. I'm Gemma Collins. See you next week.